Hi guys, welcome back to Gay Reddit Reads, advice, reactions, and vibes. I'm JTheo, and today we're going to be diving into gay dating disasters. You know, those dates where you're left asking yourself, did that really just happen? From men bringing hookups to the first date, to awkward one-sided energy, and of course to the chaos of open relationships gone wrong, this one's going to be juicy, but also so real. If you're new here, this is where we unpack gay Reddit stories, give advice, react with a mix of honesty and humor, and talk about what these experiences say about us and the dating world that we're navigating. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's get into it. Okay, so this post was titled, I didn't get much out of the guy on the first date. This is from the Ask Gay Bros Over 30 subreddit. I think that I'm a good conversationalist and listener, but when I went on a date with this guy, 28, and while it wasn't bad, drinks and appetizers, around 2 hours total, I walked away without having a good idea of who he is to the core. Meaning, most of his answers felt generic and somewhat short. I've been there before, the nice enough date, but it's kind of boring, to be honest. Or it just feels like you're getting nothing out of the guy. I asked many questions, but he wouldn't fill them out and develop any answers. Some random examples. I asked if he watches any movies or shows. He said sometimes, and it died there. I asked about travel or interesting places. He said he hasn't been around much. And if I went the extra mile and asked places he'd like to go, all I got was maybe a national park. Maybe a national park, okay. It's kind of just giving filler. Who says that? But yeah, I mean, that's pretty odd. There were too many others like this to list. Again, everything was so generic that I was feeling tired of mining any information about him. Yeah, mining information, that's the key phrase. Like, you shouldn't feel like you're mining information on a date. I really feel like a date should feel like a conversation. You're connecting. It should feel really easy and smooth. I get people are nervous and stuff, but anytime I gotta pull information out of somebody, even a friend, I'm over it. And I feel like when you're the only one answering the questions, you're carrying the date. The date is just you, basically. He's cute and I could see chemistry developing, but I couldn't paddle alone for two. And he just didn't excite me. I thought he didn't have a good time or wasn't interested. But it turns out he's reaching out and asking for a second date. LOL. LOL, exactly. Like I said earlier, you're carrying the date. So obviously you are making the date enjoyable. You're asking questions, you're engaging. So obviously he will want a second date. But this post is about you. And if you didn't really enjoy yourself, I don't really see the point in going on a second date. If you feel like there were nerves or something like that and maybe you want to go on a second date, I could possibly see that. But honestly, we know that he's pulling the energy from you and it wasn't exciting. I really don't see the point in wasting your time. But let's continue. How do I approach this? Should I ask if he's more shy in person or if there's anything I can do for him to feel more comfortable? I guess I've just never had anything like this with someone almost 30. So I'm struggling a bit and I appreciate any perspective. That's a good, fair question. I feel like when the date is kind of just blah, it's like more annoying because then you gotta be like, do I tell him no? At least when y'all both are over it and y'all both are like, we're not for each other, it's just a hard stop. But now you're both lingering being like, should I hang out again? Should we connect again? So this honestly can be the more annoying end to a date. So what would you do? Do you give him a second chance or ask the hard question to why he was acting the way he was acting? Or walk away because you already felt like you did all the talking and you really got nothing in return? For me at this age, at 34, I'm very much into like charisma, vibes initially. I feel like first impressions are important and I get we can be nervous and stuff, but I feel like I do so much leading in my life at work. I do so much leading, even some of my friend groups of pulling information, asking the questions, being the leader of conversations that I have no interest of wanting that with my partner. I have zero interest of that. So I feel like if off bat I have to do that, I have to warm you up, I feel like that's just gonna set the tone for our relationship, or it's gonna set the tone that you're always gonna be somebody that needs to warm up. So when I introduce you to my friends, I'm gonna have to warm you up. I'm gonna have to get you comfortable. And I honestly just don't feel like doing that. That feels like labor, that feels like more work. And honestly, I really want a partner that's gonna bring more ease to my life. I don't want my friends being like, was he mad? Is he okay? I just don't feel like having those conversations. So for me, the person I am, I would dead it. I would just tell him not interested. It was so nice meeting him, and I wouldn't go on a second date. But if you're the type of person that wants to put in that kind of work, that has the energy to do that, it doesn't sound like you are. But if you're that type of person and you feel comfortable doing that, I mean, hey, by all means, go ahead. Or if you just want to go on a second date and see if that changes, or if you want to ask the question. I'm at this point now where I don't feel like proposing questions to people on how they should act around me, because then I feel like I may be pushing them to give up a faux version of themselves. Because if you ask them like, hey, like, why don't you speak up in conversation? I like somebody that speaks up and elaborates more in boring conversation, he may do that the next few times you hang out just so that you guys can keep hanging out when that's not really who he is. And I feel like people do that a lot. People can present a faux version of themselves for a while. But like I said, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Let me know what you guys would do, if you would give it a second chance or would you dead it and call it a day. Okay, so on to the next post. This one is called He Brought His Hookup to a Date, which we could all see how this is about to go. And this also is from the Ask Gay Bros Over 30 subreddit. We connected on a popular gay app whose name starts with a J and ends with a D. We exchanged numbers, texted for a while, and then talked on the phone. Then one night we met in person. Dinner, drinks, seemed normal, but right after I got there, I found out he had brought his hookup into the mix. The fact that you're on a date and somebody brings a hookup, like, what are we doing, people? Like, that's just chaos waiting to be started. I digress. At first I thought maybe I misunderstood, maybe the hookup was just a friend, but no, it turned out he was still seeing the other guy and decided to bring him along to our date. I feel like that's not even open relationship territory, that's just disrespectful. You're not gonna bring somebody that you're clearly sleeping with on a date. That's crazy. Like, what? I sat there, I tried to stay calm. I asked, so is he part of this plan? Are you okay with this? He shrugged and said he didn't see what the problem was. The fact that you even have to have this conversation, he's being so nonchalant about it, is a super red flag. You're not gonna be nonchalant about something so bizarre on a date. Like, can we be for real? I ended the night early, I paid my share, walked out. I told him I wasn't comfortable. But the weirdest part, he asked if I was overreacting. People really be in their own universe. How are you overreacting when you go on a date with someone and they bring someone that they didn't disclose they were bringing and it turns out to be someone they're hooking up with? How are you overreacting? So again, what would you do? Would you leave in that moment, confront and ask for an explanation, or try to make sense of it all? Please drop your take in the comments. I definitely want to hear from y'all. There's two versions of what I would do, because part of me is at a place in my life where I just don't feel like exhausting energy on bullshit. So part of me would just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go. This is seeming very odd. The fact that you're actually so nonchalant about this just shows that you're not my person or somebody that I want to be involved with. So I'm gonna dip. And the other part of me would be like, I need you to explain yourself to me, and I need you to understand why this was extremely rude and just a waste of my time. I also could see myself going that route, but I feel like when I get upset, I get really, really intense, and I just really, really wouldn't want to cause a scene and make it even a more intense situation, because at the end of the day, I don't want you at this point. And the funny thing is, I'm actually someone that believes in ethical non-monogamy, so maybe some part of our relationship, if we were together, I would be open to us bringing somebody else in or us hooking up with somebody else. The fact that you would bring somebody you just hooked up with on a date and we're still gonna know each other, we're still building this bond, it's just bizarre. That's just wild. If I'm ever in an ethical non-monogamous situation, I want to have a foundation of a relationship with this person, and we understand each other, we trust each other, and then if we choose to bring someone into the relationship, that's our choice together. So honestly, I have two routes how I would go. I don't know in the moment. It also depends how invested I was in this situation. If he really were like getting to that place where I feel like we really were connecting, I thought this was gonna be my man, I may have a little bit more invested to where I want to have a deeper conversation. But also, I know me, at a certain point, it's like, if this is gonna be the mess, it's gonna be the mess. So I'm just gonna exit stage left and go about my day. Yes, I'll leave irritated, but I can leave with my peace of mind. I'm not gonna create a scene out in public and give you whatever satisfaction you were looking for, because all of this is just so odd. Ooh, okay, y'all, on to the next one. So this one is called Gay Dating is Horrid, and this is from Ask Gay Bros subreddit. Sexual repression of gay people is making me a jaded bitch, and I need your help. I mean, jaded, that I feel you. I have become very jaded when it comes to dating and everything when it comes to the gay community. So I understand you. But I digress. Hear me out. So many gay people in metropolitan areas are in open relationships, which, whatever, it's your relationship, do what you gotta do. But I feel like it's because a lot of gay people didn't get to explore in their youth. That's my working theory. That theory isn't far-fetched. Delayed adolescence is a thing, and I think a lot of people just really want to explore as much as they can before they get locked down or settled down. When honestly, I feel like there's ways to go about this without everybody having to be in an open relationship. You can just date and just be free. But people want to be possessive and own people at the same time, is my thought. But that's just my thought. Anyway, I was casually dating this guy, maybe 8 dates in or so. We finally had sex. Afterward, he brings up completely casually that his boyfriend was gonna love hearing about this. I just don't get why people feel like they can't just be honest up front. If you have a boyfriend in an open relationship, you let people know that up front. Like, why is that a secret you have to wait and disclose later? Naturally, I was mortified. I tried to gather myself, still cuddling in bed, mind you, and I sat up and asked, why wasn't this shared from the start? And for context, I had started to really like this guy. He was smart, funny, handsome, we had shared passions, great conversation. He wasn't just a fling. I actually thought this could be something. His response, I didn't think it was really needed. Everyone's open these days, especially in the gay world. And that's what I'm saying, like, we need to communicate. Everybody is not open in the gay world. Everybody isn't. That's a very general statement, and that's not a true statement. And even if that's true, how do you know how I want to maneuver in an open relationship? How do you know that I want to be part of something that's already developed? For me, yes, like I said, I believe in ethical non-monogamy, but I'm not about to be a third. I'm not about to be a third to a situation. Me and my man have to be the core, and then we may hook up and have one-offs with other people every once in a while, but the core is between me and my man. So for you to sit here and think that that's the type of situation he wants to be in is very ignorant, it's very naive, and honestly just very disrespectful. I just felt used, and I asked him if he reported back to his boyfriend after our dates, and he did. It was a cuck fetish situation. So basically, you're unknowingly auditioning somebody for your OnlyFans fantasy. That's really messed up. And the part that stings most, this isn't the first time that this has happened. I mean, honestly, it's not the first time this happened to me either. I've definitely connected with somebody, and then I eventually found out they have a boyfriend, or that they're in an open relationship. We may hook up before that. Like, that's definitely happened to me too, and I don't know why people feel like they cannot be honest, because they want to be deceitful, they want to be manipulative, and I just think that's so wrong. Now I'm left thinking, was it overreactive? Is anyone else seeing this open relationship trend and feeling annoyed by it? Or am I just a cynical asshole and this is what dating is now? So what do you think? Is gay dating really evolving, or are we just calling a lack of boundaries freedom? Drop your takes below. Okay, this last post is a little personal and a little bit of a bonus. So the post is titled, To Other Feminine Black Gay Men. And this is from the Ask Black Gay Men subreddit. To other feminine black gay men, how is your dating life? Because for me, it's been rough. Really rough. I've learned that being feminine and black in the gay community comes with a silent asterisk. Guys say they want confidence, personality, humor, but what they really mean is masculine energy only. I get called pretty, I get compliments, but when it comes to actual dating, it's rejection after rejection. Or worse, I'm someone's experiment. The one they flirt with privately, but never claim publicly. It's so crazy because I get this so much too. I get called pretty, but then when it comes down to actually like going on a date or taking it out of the bedroom, it rarely happens for me. And I've tried to shrink myself before, lower my voice, dress more neutral, smile less, just to see if I get treated differently, and honestly, I did. It's frustrating because I know who I am, and I love who I am. I shouldn't have to edit that just to be loved back. You shouldn't. You shouldn't have to be somebody to be loved back. It's really sad that so many of us go through this. And I feel like you guys see me on YouTube, you see how I look here, but when I go to parties, I wear eyeliner, I wear glitter. I do look more feminine, and I feel like I get the same type of energy. I love lip gloss, I love all that kind of stuff. And I feel like sometimes I can't be myself. I never lower my shine, but I feel like at times I can't be myself to get what I want when it comes to dating and when it comes to just interaction with guys, so. But I digress. So yeah, dating as a feminine black gay man, it's tiring. It's isolating, but I'm learning not to take rejection as proof that I need to change, just proof that not everyone deserves me. Ooh, I love that. I feel the same way. Not everybody deserves my energy. One of my friends just told me that recently. I love her. She just told me, Jay, everybody does not deserve your energy. Like, you don't always have to walk up to guys. You don't need to always do that because at the end of the day, everybody does not deserve your energy. And you know, because the rejection is starting to really like hit me, you know, and I'm so sick of me putting myself out there and like it always coming to a no, or I got a boyfriend, I'm not looking for anything. It starts really to hit you even if you have strong confidence or like a strong ego. I'm not trying to make this a therapy session, but I do want to reach out and just say, if there's anybody else out there feeling the way I feel, let's have dialogue, let's have conversations about it. But I do want to end with this. Do not let anyone stop you from being who you are. Do not let anyone stop you from shining. You are special, you deserve love, you deserve all the things that everybody else deserves. And at the end of the day, it's a lot of people out here who are not comfortable with themselves that try to diminish you. We want somebody who is confident in themselves. We want somebody that's confident in us to be with us. So even though it's hard, even though it's difficult, even though it is very trying, and I can't say there has not been tears behind this for me in my life, but I'm never gonna stop being myself. I'm never gonna stop shining. I'm never gonna stop doing the things I wanna do. I like makeup, I like lip gloss, I like cute outfits, and if you have a problem with that, that says more about you than it says about me. So with all that being said, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Gay Reddit Reads. I hope that you guys appreciate the reaction, the vibes. I want to hear from you guys in the comments, so please drop your comments below. If you are liking this series, please like and let me know. Please subscribe if you are enjoying this content overall. I love building this community and I love having discussion. And as always, do your best to stay safe, stay positive, and I will see you guys on the next video.